And if you think the mainstream media makes up stories about President Trump, you are far from alone. A new poll from Politico asked voters whether the media was doing exactly that, and guess what? 46% said yes. Nearly half the country saying yes. 37% said the media does not fabricate stories about the president. 17% undecided. But among Republican voters, 76% say the media is inventing stories, while a mere 11% don't think so. Joining us right now with reaction is Kayleigh McEnany, spokesperson for the Republican National Committee. Kayleigh, good to see you.
Hey, Trish, good to see you too.
What to tell you when nearly half the country and the majority of Republicans believe that the media is making up stories about President Trump?
The American people are very discerning, and they've caught on to the media game. They can't be fooled. They look at the long litany of false news stories, and I'll just give you a few, Trish. NBC had to issue a correction because they made up a story about the RNC being in Paul Manafort's notes. The New York Times was actually disputed by James Comey, their February New York Times story that he called in the main not true. CNN retracting a story about Scaramucci being involved in the Russia investigation. A Times reporter saying President Trump removed the MLK bus from his office. The AP saying that, in fact, the EPA administrator had a meeting with Dow Chemical that never happened. These are 5 just in the last few months. They're making up stories. The American people see right through it. Here's one thing the media failed to take into account. This president's a fighter. He will fight back. He won't take this lying down, and he's beating them at their own game. When you see a poll like the one you just showed, 46% of people think the media is making things up. President Trump is winning.
So you say he's beating them at their own game. That's so interesting, Kayleigh, because if you think about it, nobody's ever tried this game before. Nobody's ever been so combative, certainly not like we're seeing. And you have so many people, it's not presidential, it's not this, it's not that. But if you have everyone coming at you in the media, how do you respond? I mean, how do you go back at them if they're making up stories?
You fight back, because historically we've seen Republican politicians take it lying down. They just stay silent. They take the punches from the media. They take the negativity. But President Trump is fighting back.